Good morning. I'm Natalie Quinton, your worship associate today. For my family, like many of yours, our world has recently been turned upside down. Our school was closed over 3 weeks ago now, basically without any warning, leaving me to fully occupy the time of our two very busy kiddos 24/7 from the confines of my home. This may not sound all that different from my everyday life, being that I generally work from home and stay at home with them anyways. However, with my 6-year-old son, it is wildly different. He is an active, social guy that needs to be fully occupied at all times. And this has led me to put my business and housework and any hope of a physically distanced social life to the side. So much has been canceled for us. Birthday parties and vacations have been put on hold. Our gym closed up, swimming lessons and baseball clinics are off. Even our regular library and playground trips have been removed from our schedule. But this really isn't about us. During the school week, we're trying to find a balance between quality time and educational time. On one hand, I'm worried about how this will affect their futures when they do return to school again. And on the other hand, I'd love for them to have warm memories of playing board games and family fort building when they look back at their time during the crazy quarantine of 2020. But the bigger thing that weighs on my mind is that this really isn't even about us. This time stuck inside, away from our old normal, isn't really because we need to stay safe. We're lucky enough to not fall into any of the most vulnerable categories. If one of us caught this virus, we would likely recover smoothly and maybe not even realize that we have it. No, this really isn't even about us. One of my close friends has a son who has Down syndrome. The week before school closed, she brought up how terrified she was for him, because if the virus spread here like it has in other countries and he got it, he might be turned away from the life-saving treatments that he would need. At the time, I was shocked at the thought. How could that possibly be? Just last week, she posted an article on Facebook stating that the Washington Health Department sent out guidance that recommends teams consider sending certain patients to outpatient care. The flowcharts gave priority to people who were younger and healthier, leaving older people and those with disabilities to die. It isn't about us, but we can make a difference. Our children are getting a little bit more time at home. They're bored and lonely and frankly getting a bit stir crazy, but we're teaching them how to sacrifice for a greater good. This is teaching them that this pandemic is so much bigger than each of us individually, and that together, by staying home, we can save more people. Because none of us are free of this until all of us are free. We're showing our children that community isn't always about physically congregating. We're staying home for the people that we know who are more vulnerable than we are, like our 95-year-old next door neighbors, Roman and Dolores, and like our young friend with Down syndrome who had a heart surgery years ago. This isn't easy, but we're all in this together. And hopefully, when my children look back at the crazy quarantine of 2020, they'll have memories of game nights and family forts and of how we protected the lives of those around us by staying home.